The new Tundra is a lot fancier now, but can Toyota compete with the Americans? We'll find out in today's video. I'll include a link to the Carl Malone Toyota's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this truck. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood is a twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed, fuel economy 17 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 389 horsepower and then 479 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me out with that. Now this one's finished in a nice metallic gray paint. You got the fancier headlights with the limited. We have fog lights. You can see TRD there on the front end. Some blacked out trim at the bottom. Parking sensors too. Other than the lack of front end tow hooks, pretty good equipment. Tire and wheel setup is 265 by 60 by 20. Toyota does half tread on their tires from the factory, so yeah, not super aggressive. But the blacked out TRD wheels look good. We've got these chunky fender flares, the Tundra badge on the side. We've got the blacked out mirror caps and even blacked out pillar. This one has these side steps. The limited badge has also been blacked out. You can see the Bilstein shock there in the back, and this is coil sprung. And then taking a look at the side profile, it looks like this is the crew cab, but then with the slightly longer bed that's over 6 feet in length. Now when it comes to key fob features, we've got our lock and unlock function, drop down for the tailgate, Toyota logo too. There's an outlet in the bed. We have LED lights. This one has liner, and again, it's over 6 feet in length, so this is quite a bit of bed space. Now the tailgate should be power up. Yep, just like it is power down. Little button on the side to lower down the tailgate. Parking sensors here in the rear. And that will cap things off for the exterior of the Tundra. This week's giveaway is all about muscle and luxury with two Cadillac V cars. The first of which is a CT5V Blackwing and the second is an Escalade V. Both these have supercharged V8s producing nearly 700 horsepower each. They also have tons of luxury and modern technology to match. Not only can you win both of these cars, but part of the giveaway is also $73,000 in cash to help pay for the taxes, and your donations go to help children's and veterans charities. Use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. This will give you 4x bonus tickets on any donation, $25 or more. Let's now check out the interior. Soft touch with stitching on the armrest, and then you can see down below lots of storage. Stitching on the seats, you can see perforated all down the center, and storage underneath because it's not a hybrid. Legroom back here is good. Got a little storage pocket. See some cup holders, USB ports, full outlet, vents. And I will say, the leather seats, I mean, they feel nice, but I don't really see the benefit of this over Softex, if I'm being honest. Anywho, let's check out the front keyless entry, by the way. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We've got the button to fold in the mirrors. You've got memory seats too, and more stitching there on the door panel. 1380 for the payload capacity. And then more stitching here at the front seat. Again, it's perforated down the center. Power adjustments with lumbar support on the side. The passenger seat's also power adjustable with lumbar support. And look at those pedals. Auto stop start to the left of the steering wheel, heated steering wheel, and then you've got your button to turn off the safety tech. Trailer brake control is just below the TRD button, but let's turn this on. Perforated trim on either side of the steering wheel. You can see on the front face we've got our adaptive cruise control, your lane departure, volume and voice command controls, phone controls too. And then we've got nice stalks there on the back. Fully digital gauge cluster, and you can change the information that's displayed on that little side tab. This is where you can also see the different drive modes. And the cluster itself is somewhat customizable. It's the benefit of digital. This has a 360 camera system. There's a bunch of different angles that you can actually see out of. They all have pretty good resolution. As for the rest of the infotainment system, it's actually pretty quick to respond with the little sidebar there. But yeah, it's just Toyota's normal unit, but blown up to be big. Dual zone climate below this has heated and ventilated seats. Physical button for the volume control, little USB port off to the side. Trailer backup assistant, you've got this for the camera system, stability control, rear locking differential, and that's for the tailgate to raise and lower it. Parking brake, auto hold, and then we have our shifter for the 10-speed automatic. It does have a manual shift function too. Phone charging pad, cup holders, and then we got a lot of stuff here. Part-time four-wheel drive system with high and low, and then next to it, drive mode, tow haul mode. This has multi-terrain select and crawl control because it's a TRD off-road. We got the nice center console lid. It's gigantic. Some USB ports, and then it has the little window so you can access it easier. And I wonder if this is leather trim too. It might be, but it's kind of hard to tell. There's nice trim on the dash, and then we have a camera, rear view mirror, and then power sliding rear window The entire window goes down. 2026 Tundra Limited with the TRD off-road package and quite a few other options. $67,499. Let us see how the Tundra performs. Let us set off in the Limited TRD off-road. See how those Bilstein shocks are. Now, I'll check the window in a second. I can't remember if this version of the Tundra has double paned windows or not. Gotta love the torque of this V6. It happens pretty low in the RPM range, the torque. Yeah, no, not double paned. That's okay though. I mean, it's not as low as some other cars. It seems like most of the torque is at that like mid 2000s, close to even 3000. So, like I said, not as low as some other vehicles, but it's still pretty good. If you want a better experience, then yeah, you get the hybrid, but it's more expensive. And you lose the underseat storage. So, you kind of pay to play in a little bit. But yeah, for most modern vehicles, having a huge wave of torque at just over 2,000 RPMs, that's not bad. It's not bad. But I will say it is nice. Like I've driven vehicles like, you know, BMW's B58 inline six that have a crazy amount of torque at sub 2,000 RPMs, and that feels really good. And I wonder if it's just an inline six versus V6 thing, because that's something else that I've noticed. Is the inline sixes seem to be able to produce more torque at a lower RPM range than the V6s. But then the other weird thing is the V6s almost always seem to have more torque overall than the inline six. It's a weird, yeah, it's a weird kind of give and take, it seems like. I don't know. Yeah, suspension on this is actually pretty good. Again, if you want the squishiest Tundra suspension, then you get, I mean, it depends. Like on-road driving, obviously something like a Platinum, you get the air suspension, it's gonna ride pretty nice. But you know, TRD Pros are typically the best ride because those Fox shocks help out with soaking everything up. They can do well on-road and obviously off-road too. These Bilsteins are comfortable, but they're built more for durability. That's kind of the main thing with these shocks, is durability rather than all-out performance like some other shocks. Yeah, this torque is good. It's smooth. Definitely smooth. So in conclusion, is leather worth it? I don't know. I like the Softex. I mean, as long as the synthetic materials aren't going to give me cancer 50 years down the road, I'm okay. That's my only gripe. If it's leaching chemicals, I don't want it. But if it's safe, as long as it's safe, I kind of like the synthetic stuff more. It just seems to hold up better over time. And you know, Toyota does a good job with their leathers. This is nice stuff. It feels, you know, it feels pretty high quality and everything. But yeah, leather just tends to still show wear quicker and just more often. I mean, that Sequoia that we just sold, for example, right, that had leather, and it was nice, but it was definitely showing some wear and tear. So it's just something to be aware of. So let me know your thoughts on the Limited, and you know, at the price point this is at, I know people are still going to want to go with the American trucks. I get it. It's hard, like, it's hard to not look at this as somewhat appealing because of the value. And I know the engine issues, I get it. And, you know, the payload isn't quite as much as the American trucks. I get it. I understand. But how many of you are maxing out the payload? And how many of you are driving your trucks out of warranty? Huh? I know. I sold trucks for a living. I know how many people come in 3 years old, 30, 40,000 miles. I want a new truck. I know how many of you are doing that. So if you have engine issues, well, most of you are still going to have warranty. And there's also extended warranties. Now, that's no excuse for Toyota to have an unreliable engine, but I think that the problem is kind of being overblown. Again, I'm going to be testing that out with that LX long-term test. But I do think that, like I said, the Tundra, I'm not saying go and buy one right now. I think you should at least look at it. Go and drive one before you go and buy a Chevy or a Ford or a Ram. Just go and drive one. Go and see what you think about the features. And again, look at the price. Compare the price. Compare the features. Because with Toyota, you're getting something with more features for a similar or lower price. And it's lower, really. So that's all.